All right. Um, Hope y'all are having a very, very great weekend. And My name is Sean Harrell, and repping my Germantown High School alumni sweatshirt, class of 2004. Um, so today I'm going to be talking about um, 5 reasons why those who are those who are suicidal, why those who are suicidal do not reach out. I'm going to be discussing those 5 reasons. And Number one, ashamed and embarrassment. Don't want to be a burden. Fear of rejection and lack of understanding. And we worry you'll try to fix us, and we can't get professional help quick enough. So I'm just gonna discuss these. Ashamed and embarrassed. Um, I can speak to this a little bit. I really didn't have, as you all know, for people who watch my channel, I had no friends. I had no friends all throughout, basically, middle school or high school. Um, so who could I tell? Who could I tell about what I went through, what I was going through when I was feeling suicidal, and even if I did have people around me, I would not tell them because I was too ashamed and too embarrassed. There was no way in the world I was going to tell my parents. There was no way in the world that I was going to tell my brothers or anybody else in my family. I was ashamed and embarrassed of what I was going through. Now, this one time, I think I've discussed this with y'all before. The one time that somebody did find out was when I was at work one night, and I gave one of my coworkers some type of card, and unknowingly he turned around and looked at the back of the card, and I had forgotten that I had completely forgotten that I had wrote that. Think of ways to kill self. I had completely forgotten that. Thinking about killing yourself is very, very, very serious, and he all of a sudden became concerned for me, and he thought that the situation was about a woman there that I had liked, but it had nothing to do with her. It had absolutely zero to do with her. It had everything to do with what was going on with me outside of work. But I'm gonna discuss that a little bit more later, because it kind of ties into with some of the 5 reasons why. So, don't want to be a burden. This will probably be the main reason why I didn't open up to people about how I was feeling suicidal. Not my parents, and certainly not my coworkers. Um, I thought this was something I was going to have to take on all by myself. And even when um, I got a somewhat of a support system, um, I still wasn't um, being open about what I was going through, because um, there were times where I would be going to our Memphis Dallas Cowboys fan club watch parties, and nobody had a single clue that I was thinking about suicide. Nobody had a single clue that despite all the cheering, the yelling, the hooping and hollering that was going on during the game, nobody realized that I was severely depressed and very suicidal. And I considered it none of their business for what I was going through, because the thing is, they have problems, and why the hell would I want to burden you all with any of the things that I was going through? So that was my main thing right there. They all got problems. They all got problems of their own. So why would I be adding more on your plate? So why would I be adding more weight to with the stuff that you are dealing with? That was my main thing right there. That was my main thing right there. I didn't want to be a bother. I didn't want to be a distraction. So basically, yeah. Fear of rejection and lack of understanding. This is one of the reasons why I did not tell my parents or my brothers or any of my family. Fear of rejection and lack of understanding. And a minute ago, I just mentioned ashamed and embarrassed. I got into, I mentioned that this one time while I was at work, this guy noticed on the back of a card I had written, think of ways to kill self. So he was concerned about me, and fear of rejection and lack of understanding. What I'm about to tell you next kind of ties into fear of rejection and lack of understanding. One of the first things that one of my other coworkers told me was, "Hey, don't think like that. Don't think like that." And the next thing he told me was that it was a sin. It was a sin. And looking back on that, maybe he didn't quite understand. This is where the fear of rejection and lack of understanding comes in. I know several people hold it in or don't tell nobody because they'll probably be told what I just told you. Don't think like that. No, don't think like that. It's a sin. You go to hell or whatnot. this is where education comes. This is where education about suicide comes. I'm saying, um, if we could just have a better understanding of suicide and education, I think we would have a better understanding of about why people are thinking about taking their lives. And so yeah, it basically comes down to just learning and educating yourself. We worry you'll try to fix us. Now, again, this kind of ties in with what I just said seconds earlier. Um, when one of my other coworkers discovered think of ways to kill himself, one of the first things they told me was, "Hey, don't think like that." That's the first thing that they told me. Hey, don't think like that. Um, so, an example of the fourth reason we worry you'll try and fix us. An example could be like if a woman loses her child and you say, well, at least you're not tied to the father for life, then you're not listening. You are trying to fix that woman's mindset instead of her sadness because it's easier to deal with. So basically, if somebody says that, if you say that you are suicidal, and like somebody's, just like my coworker said to me, hey, don't think like that. That's automatically trying to change the mindset. I guess he thought by changing my mindset that I would be a little bit better. I would be in a little bit better. I would be in a little bit in a better spot. But that's not, that does not work. I can tell you, it did not work for me. Changing the way I thought, it didn't work for me. It did not work for me, and it kind of only made it worse. And it kind of only made it worse, yeah, because you're kind of dismissing the pain that we are feeling, and by just saying, hey, don't think like that. Don't think like that. So, yeah. And number 5, we can't get professional help quick, yeah. All of us don't have access to the best doctors, the best health care, insurance, or whatnot. So getting professional help can be a challenge. I know it was a challenge for me, but it was a challenge in a different kind of way for me. It was a challenge for me because I didn't want to get help, and I thought I was going to take on this all by myself. I was going to beat this all by myself, and when it got to a point where I wasn't going to beat it by myself, that's when I knew I had to do something, and I made the decision myself to go get help. I made the decision myself to go get help, and it's the best thing that I did. I went into counseling, I say, when I was 22. When I was 22 or 23 years old. And I'm 35 now. And I've stayed in counseling since. And to be honest, depression has not left me. Depression, suicide thoughts have not left me. I still fight them every day. I still fight those two things every day, along with anxiety. I still fight those things. So every day is a healing process for me, and I've been dealing with this since the day I graduated high school. The day I graduated high school, I've been dealing with this ever since, and it started showing up. Slowly showing up in high school, but when I graduated, it just went to a whole another level. Went to a whole other level. And so yeah, those are the 5 reasons why people don't reach out. And this is just a quick side note. There are some I played kickball with my teammates. I play kickball with my teammates. I play on a kickball team with some wonderful teammates. But there was something that had happened when one night after we had a practice during the summer, this past summer, and that was the day suicide thoughts struck again. We just had a practice. We had just had a practice, and I know this is probably going to stun some of my teammates, but the first thing I thought about was, when practice was over, was I hope I don't have any thoughts of suicide when I get home. Well, I get home. What do you know? Thoughts of suicide just came up out of nowhere. I don't know where they came from. They just came. All of a sudden, I just found myself thinking about suicide again. And I remember telling my girlfriend that I was thinking about suicide. And I remember her just saying that she would be praying for me. And encouraging me to see a just encouraging me to see a counselor. I had got it. I had got out of counseling. Over that summer, I had got it out of counseling over that summer, and as soon as I had those thoughts, I was right back in there. I was right back in, and I know that's stunning for my teammates to hear, but after we had kickball practice, suicidal thoughts just struck, and they came out of nowhere, and so yeah, so it is not easy battling thoughts of suicide. No, thinking about killing yourself is really, really serious. And this is for someone who works as a volunteer on the Suicide Prevention Lifeline. This is coming from somebody who works as a volunteer on the Suicide Prevention Lifeline. So, yeah, yeah. Um, some of the things that, some of the things that, um, some of the things that helped me were having a support system, teammates, girlfriend, friends that I can legitly come to with anything to talk about. So that's what helps me. What also helps me is healthy, healthy, healthy eating. Really not a vegetable guy, but I'm more of a grapes, pineapple. I drink a lot of water, exercise a lot, lift weights, so that helps. Meditation helps, and just basic self care. Just basic self care, taking a shower, getting massages. Yeah, that really helps, and also have a friend that that listens to you, that listens to you and does not dismiss your pain. That can be very, very helpful too. Um, ooh, excuse me. That can be very, very helpful too. I now have friends who check on me from time to time. Um, it's taking a little getting used to. It's taking a little getting used to tell you the truth, because I've never had people who have checked on me, um, checked on me before just to see how I was doing, and I'm still getting used to it. I'm still getting used to it. Um, it feels good to be. It feels good to be checked on, knowing that you have people who think about how you, and it feels really good. It feels really good. There's always hope. There's always hope. And one more thing. One more thing. I used to go down to Riverside Drive, I used to go down to Riverside Drive, and I would just stand there and just watch the waves in the river, watch watch the waves in the river, watch the sunlight glisten off the waves in the river, and occasionally from time to time I would think to myself, what if I just ran and jumped in the river? Would anybody care? I used to think that. Now, thinking about that now, it makes me sort of cringe. It makes me sort of cringe that I thought out like that. I was thinking like that. Just like seeing sharp knives make me cringe. Because as you know, I used to keep a sharp knife under my bed, and I had thoughts of jumping into the Mississippi River. So, um, there is hope. We need to talk about suicide. I just don't want to talk about suicide on camera, on this camera. I want to talk. I want to talk about suicide with people, face to face, and that's what I hope to do soon. Just bringing people together so we can just talk about suicide, because that's what we need to do. Can't dismiss it. Can't dismiss it, especially in the especially with the crazy year that we've had. Can't be dismissed, and hopefully more I can reach more and more people, and more people we can start talking about this. Thank you. May God bless you. Thank you for watching this video. Peace, love, and soul. Be good, y'all.